of myself. Can't dream so big.
Hey guys, welcome back to the All in All podcast. I thought I would never say that again. I'm happy. I'm here with my co-host AJ, and I think we're gonna get it right this time. We're gonna have a guest every week. We'll try to. AJ, who did we bring out today?
Mr. Chosen One Productions, Mr. Chosen One Consignment. Introduce yourself.
Jose Camachito Rivera.
Camachito. Where does the Camachito come from? Is that just like...
The Camachito comes from, actually, you know who gave me that name?
Yeah, here we go.
Carlos Garcia's brother gave me that name.
Okay.
Carlos, the trainer.
The trainer, yeah.
His brother, his older brother gave me that name when I was younger. Had the little curl and stuff, and, you know, being in boxing with my brother, and you know, he just decided to call me Camachito in the late 80s, and it stuck.
I know your brother was in, boxing. Were you ever in boxing or?
No. Well, me and him were not as an adult.
Okay.
When we were in Puerto Rico younger, my brother used to fight a lot, and I used to make him fight, actually, like after school in Puerto Rico.
Like street fights?
Street fights. Street fights. He was good at street fights as a young kid. So we were popular in
You see, I'm gonna stop you there because I just can't, from the outside looking in, I can't see Pops being like an aggressor or a street fighter. You know, just because I see him as
Humble
a
beast. Humble beast.
Yeah.
It's like Unleash the Beast. You ever saw the movie with Jet Li, Unleash, where like as he's like a robot, but when the owner of him takes the collar off,
then he's ready.
He starts spazzing out and like killing everybody.
Were you the one taking the collar?
Yeah,
that's the thing right there. That when people ask me all that, they don't believe it. They were your little brother Jose fighting bare knuckle in the streets, and I was absolutely. We used to live with our father in Puerto Rico when my mom died, and my father was a big boxing fan. Like, it was boxing every weekend. Asuma Nelson and all those fighters from back then he liked. And in school we were popular, the Riveras, because every day I would have my little brother fight somebody different. I mean, literally, it was every day before the bus came to pick us up. And it was always like that. So then we decided to take it seriously. And, my brother used to follow me around. I was older. And we used to go to different boxing gyms in Puerto Rico. And I just used to throw my brother in there with anybody because he was tough and rugged as a little kid.
Hey, you said the Rivera name. How important is it to carry a last name? It means something. Because a lot of people, it's all about the last name. You look at the big brands, all of those are last names.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially in Puerto Rico. My father was known for, actually my father, when he was here, my father's from Philly, but my mother being from Massachusetts, they lived in Springfield and Westfield when they were younger, before they had me. And my father was a bare knuckle basement fighter. They used to fight in Westfield.
That goes in the blood.
So when you say, the Rivera name, my father was known for either knife fighting or bare knuckle fighting.
I know, yeah, but it changes through the generation.
Yeah.
Because, you guys have that, and then you got this one right here that he's known for dulce pinga. That's what he says.
He's the one who taught me that.
That's what he says.
Yeah,
or am I mistaken?
Yeah.
Pinga. He changed, so it changes.
Yeah. He got that from me. He got that from me.
I'll never forget that shit. But you did baseball too.
I did baseball. Yes,
You did baseball.
I did baseball.
You was on one of the teams in PR.
Yeah, I actually was a very good baseball player.
What position?
I played 3 positions. I pitched, I catch, and I played shortstop. And I was actually pretty good. But as I got tall, as I got older, I didn't get taller.
I feel you.
You know what I mean?
I feel you.
I'm short, so it didn't pan out.
But baseball, you could actually be short.
Yeah, but at the time, I really didn't.
We're talking short and like 120 pounds.
Yeah,
like you got to hit the ball over the fence too.
Like I was really skinny till I was into my late teens. And when I talk skinny, I'm talking like 118 pounds.
More like skinny to your late
Yeah.
40s.
Oh yeah.
Late
didn't,
40s.
Like, right now, I'm fat. I'm like 180 something. I've never been this fat before. You know what I mean? So I was always skinny and short, but I played baseball, and then I've done a lot of softball as an adult. But yeah, I did that. I did that also.
Yeah, it seems like from the outside, and once again, it seems like you do everything, So
Literally.
is it like would you consider yourself a go get it person? You got those people that
Absolutely.
no matter what, they're gonna go get it.
One,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say one thing. I like to call a spade a spade. I like to give credit where it's due. You gotta give people their flowers. As long as I've been around, as long as I've known my uncle, obviously there was ups and downs, but I've never seen the man stay down. And even through a lot of trials and tribulations, like setbacks, bad setbacks, years of setbacks, he comes out and surpasses people who have never had his kind of setbacks. And that's really like, as I started getting older, actually, like, obviously you look up to your dads and stuff like that. But my dad's was like a slow grind. It kind of happened throughout the years in every time I seen this man, he was just coming up. He was always a getter. He was a hustler. He did his thing. And for me, it was like, well, I mean, damn, I think this is the route I want to go. Like,
Go get it, yeah.
because whether it's owning stores, selling movies, radios, he's selling peanuts. Like, he's
Your name is there.
he's gonna get it. He's gonna get it.
Where does that
at all
come from, though?
costs.
To be honest with
13
you,
when you started your first
I
business?
had my own business 16. I was 16 when I had my own business
What was
in Puerto
that?
Rico. In Puerto Rico.
What did you have?
It was a shirt business. So what I did was I bought, they were called Ocean View shirts in Puerto Rico. And what I did was I stamped them and any kind of logo or, surfing style for the beaches of Puerto Rico or palm trees or El Coqui or whatever. I would send to stamp them, and I would put like a dozen in a bag and fill up my little Suzuki at the time, 3-cylinder Suzuki. And I had a Jeep too. And I go to a different city in Puerto Rico every morning. I get up at 4 in the morning, 5 in the. I still do it now. I'm faithful 5, 6 in the morning. I'm a morning person, so I would bring these shirts to the ladies in the urbanizaciones. They call urbanizaciones over there, but like the little towns and cities and stuff have a lot of parcelas, and I would knock on doors and tell them, convince them to sell the shirts, and they would get a percentage. And I would leave them 2 or 3 dozens and go back 2 weeks later. So every day I would go to a different city in Puerto Rico, and I collect the money. It ran for a while. It was pretty popular, actually. My sister went to Maria, who's an attorney now, went to visit me at 16, and she saw how I was living, and she's like, what the fuck? Gina, you got your own business, 2 cars, and so I've always hustled. I used to grow my own stuff in Puerto Rico and sell it in the campo, in my Jeep. Talking about ajices for sofrito, any kind of fruit, aguacate, bagel, mangoes,
You name it.
nepas. I used to go to, man, you name it.
I'm trying to,
everything.
I'm trying to get in the mind though. Like, where does that come? Like, in your mind, is it something that just pops up and you're like, okay, I'm gonna do it, or do you like think about it and push it back a little?
No pronostication. Something pops up in your head, you just gotta go for it. A lot of people have good ideas, but they don't do it. And then they'll see somebody do it. Oh, but damn, you thought about it, but you never did it. You never pursued it. You don't know what could have happened.
Yeah.
And when I think of an idea, I just go for it, regardless of, whatever, say, like that consignment shop that he was talking about, Chosen One Consignment and Drift Shop. I was literally in the corner of Piedmont and Main Street for 8 years and a half. And right now, till
Making
this
almost
day,
6 figures a
oh
year.
yeah, till this day, if you sell stuff like thrift stores are very popular.
Yeah.
As of now in the day, I know people that are millionaires. Look at Savers.
Yep.
They're all over selling, being a thrift store shop. So imagine back then where I would sell bueno, bonito, y barato, the 3 Bs. So, I started selling a little bit of everything, and it also was very popular. I was also a promoter in the clubs. This kid here was
Work at
me
the door.
and artists as a young age. I had him working at a club. He wasn't even 21 yet when he was working at the club.
I wasn't even 16 yet. I wasn't old enough to have a job. In my first job, I worked at his store, and then when I got a little bit older, I worked at the front door the club.
Did I teach you anything?
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. That's where I got my my love for the hustle from. Like, was from him. Like, I saw the hard work, the dedication and stuff through my dad.
Yeah.
But really, that ambition, that grind, it came from him, and in a way, it's a blessing. Through his curses is a blessing, because I saw, all right, you can hustle, and there's ways to hustle and get everything, the do's and don'ts, but don't hustle this way, because then you can go this way. As enticing as it was to follow in those footsteps, it was like.
So I was literally an example of how to do it not right and how to do it right.
Because for somebody to come out, once how it is, once you get that criminal record, it's hard to get jobs and stuff like that. And for as long as I've known, like I said, he come out, maybe stay with you for 3 months, and then he's on his own, got his own place, back on his feet.
That's dope. Because you know how many people say
cycle was.
I know, but you know how many people say, let me just crash 2 months, and then it becomes a year, 2 years.
I've seen it. He's lived with us for a little bit. When we were in Lincoln Village, he lived with us for, like I said, it ends up being anywhere between a month and 3 months, and he's gone. And then boom, and then whatever happens, he might get sent away again, come out, live with us for a month, 3 months, boom, back on his feet. Never stayed down, never stayed. And, when he finally got out permanently and did it right, then it was the store and things were really good. It was so, it definitely, opened my eyes. Because I remember
3 times in my life, I have come out with nothing. When I mean nothing, I mean zero.
He called me the last time he got out and asked me how he gets a credit card. Nothing. No, and he was a cash only guy, so every time he went in, the feds take the cash. So he was literally coming out, not even a license, because it expires while he's in there.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you thinking when you come out with nothing?
I'm gonna get back to where I was.
But how do you stay so positive and have that mindset, brother? Because I know that could be tough.
Well, let's put it to you this way. This last time around, I was actually in the feds. I actually had a business in there also. I'll tell you about that later. But when I got out, I was asking, I saw how people now, productive citizens in society, need credit. And even though I've had my own houses and businesses in the past, I never had a credit card. Never had a credit card. Everything was cash. I always had cash put away everywhere. So this time around, I was asking everybody, how to build credit, how to get credit cards, and now I have a 7 and change credit. And this was just a couple years ago?
Yeah, when you got out, 3 years. You've been out for 3 years.
3 years.
That's motivation.
Look at that.
That's motivation.
3 years now with a kilo on his neck, and on his watch, on his wrist.
That's motivation and inspiration, because there's people that make so kind of the excuses that they shouldn't. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I always say I be telling people listen, you're either lazy or you're not willing to be patient. Just because I'm you've for example, you've never been to jail. You've been out 20, 30 years of your life.
Free.
And you let this guy who's been out 3 years surpass you in every way, whether it's having a car, whether it's having your own place, whether, like, it comes a point in time where, like he was saying, you got to be a doer or a thinker. And if you're a thinker, you're just going to keep thinking about it and never end up doing it. And that's why, like, part of that motivation to start the business, I was working for a company while I was in college. They ran New England for the last 25 years, CES. I was working for them. I was a senior in college, and I knew he was getting out soon. And I, like, right when I graduated, I told my dad, like, yo, like, I'm ready. Let's start it. He was like, you've been with them for like a year, less than a year. What do you mean? I'm like, no, that. I think I learned enough. I could do it. He's like, all right, write me up a PowerPoint. Let me see if you're serious. Next day, I wrote him up a PowerPoint. Boom, turned it into him, and then we started.
Is it true, like, you know, once you go into, like, you know, prison and all that, is that when you see the true colors of people, or is that just?
No. You're talking about the people that stay in society or the people that are in...
Actually, both, to be honest, in your circle and society, actually.
Absolutely. Like, there's a whole bunch of people. When I had my business, I had people go to my store every day wanting something or wanting to borrow. I used to sell DVD movies, and I had a lot of people coming to borrow them instead of buying them. You know, I never heard from any of them people when I was inside, thinking they sent me $1 while I was in there. No, I had to hustle. So you do see, you know, who people really are when you're down, especially when you're in there. That's why they call it the cemetery for the living. Because you're dead. You're actually dead to people. They forget you.
What was the longest time you served, if you don't mind me asking?
Almost 4. Almost 4, yeah.
How is it when you know?
But in total, about how many in total?
Man, listen, in total.
Like 17?
Yeah, too many.
17, 18
Too many,
years.
yeah.
So after, you know, 4 years, you know, being locked up and then seeing outside again, how does that feel?
Oh, it feels awesome. I mean, it's like when it hits the ground. But you know, it sucks when you go back again. You know, you promise yourself that you know you never come back to those bars again. It's not nice in there. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not nice in there. I've seen a lot of shit go down in there, and I could say shit that I don't want to say here, but a lot of shit happens in there that some people wouldn't even believe you. So, you know, I would tell, you know, the youngins that think that they know it all, that stay away from prison. It's not nice. It's not somewhere where you want to be.
So out of the 17, 18 years total you got inside, which time was the hardest?
That's a good question.
The hardest was probably in the beginning when my wife was pregnant.
With Jew or Bree?
No, actually it was with Julian. With Julian.
Yep.
With Julian. She was pregnant, so, you know, left her alone with the kid, and, you know, that was probably my hardest, even though, you know, once I knew that I wasn't going to make bail, I started hustling right away where I could send her money because the kid was coming. But that was probably the hardest because I knew that, you know, I left her alone with a belly.
Yeah, that's tough. We started off with you saying Chosen One Production, right? If I got it right?
Yep, Chosen One Production.
Chosen One Production, where did that come from? Because I'm guessing that came later on.
No, actually, I've been doing media for a long time.
Okay, I did not know that.
I actually was the editor for the Latino Vocero, you know, the newspaper, the Puerto Rican, the Vocero.
Yep.
I was the sports editor, and I've been doing this for 20 years.
Oh, wow.
So it's not new. Okay. It's just that I had stopped to do the entertainment world, you know, bring artists, and I had stopped the sports. But just recently, I started moonlighting and doing it again, and that's where that comes from. But it's not new.
Okay, yeah, because I see you posting everything.
Yeah.
I see you posting things before anybody else. You know,
Yeah, he got pictures. He got pictures.
Actually,
and videos
Well,
with
you
Alex
guys talk,
Rodriguez,
I'm gonna show you
Floyd Mayweather.
how old this is.
When he went on a different hustle.
Yep.
That's the route he was doing. He was doing his thing for a while.
That is a credential for Mayweather Hatton.
Wow.
See that?
Yeah, that's dope.
Mayweather Hatton, and you know
And that fight was what, 06?
Yeah, 06, 05, 06.
That's cool.
So it's not new. I've been doing it for a long time. It's just that sports is my passion. You know, I did sports as a kid. My grandfather loved the Red Sox and the Patriots, and they were always on at home. We played as kids in sports, and you know, I love football, I love boxing, I love baseball, basketball.
You name it.
Yeah, so I know a little bit about sports. So I've always done it.
Since we got boxing, it seems like it's in the family.
Yeah.
It's only right if I ask you, who's your top 5 boxers right now?
Right now or all time?
No, right now, right now.
Right now. All right, so I'm gonna go
This
with
is
my
a fun
boy.
debate in the house.
You could contradict it.
I said this is a fun debate in the house. We were arguing about that in your apartment last time.
All right, so I'm gonna go with the little man, the monster. I love him. Japanese, in a way. Right?
Is this an order or no order?
No order,
Okay.
no order. Just top 5. Believe it or not,
he's a beast.
I'm gonna say a guy that not too many people know, but I know that he's a beast and he's gonna surprise a lot of people. Well, I'm gonna leave him for last, so I'm gonna go Bivol, Inoue, Jermaine Ortiz.
Ooh. That's 3.
I like Benavidez. I like the Mexican monster.
And then fast forward, and then the one you're gonna leave last.
David, the Cuban.
Morel.
Okay.
David Morrell.
What you got to say to that? I know you want to say something.
Nah, I wouldn't. I mean, that's his list. You know, for me right now, are we talking who I think is the top 5 best, or who are my top 5 favorites? Cause that's
No, you can't go favorites, brother.
You know,
You can't go favorites. That's bias.
That's what I'm saying.
It's still kind of biased, but that's super bias.
Because if
you go
my
favorite.
favorites, I can't really say are. I mean, you can make an argument for them being top 5, but David Benavidez is in there.
Yeah.
Pound for pound, he's in there. Obviously, you got to go Terrence Crawford.
Terrence actually might be 5A.
You gotta go Terrence Crawford, Benavidez, Inoue, Usyk.
It's funny because I asked you this, I think last year, and you had Spence.
Yeah, I did.
Before Crawford.
Oh,
did.
man.
Yeah, you had Spence before Crawford.
I would still.
It's funny how time changes.
He got operated on that.
I still would.
His eye.
My thing about it is, I still would throw him in the top 5, top 8. I don't think one fight really defines you over like that, but there's also other factors in boxing. You know, there comes a time where you being the bigger guy in a smaller weight is an advantage till it becomes a disadvantage.
Yeah.
And when you don't listen to your body, results like that happen. Like a lot of people don't know. My dad has in hotel bathrooms fainted before fights and still ended up fighting. Like that's how much of a struggle weight became. And it's like, can you really be 100, even after rehydration, can you really be 100% of yourself when you're literally killing yourself before the fight? You can't, you know?
That's tough.
So I just think what we saw, I think we saw Spence at 40 to 60%. And when you got a guy who's at 80, 100%, that's the outcome you're going to get.
He looked 110% that
Yeah,
night.
he did.
I think that was one of the flawless.
You know, and that's why I'm actually excited for Jermaine fighting at 140. That's another one that I want to put in my list just because I feel like, I mean, I know what Jermaine looks like. I know what Jermaine looks like in sparring.
think he's winning the title?
Yeah, man. I think him at 140 is just going to be a more replenished version. You're going to actually be able to see 75% or more of him because that 135 was literally like murder. Like after you
Yeah.
lose the body fat and after you lose the water weight and there's nothing else to lose, your body starts eating the muscle. And then now at that point you're literally like you're in a starvation mode. You can't.
Yeah, but they look sick sometimes too.
Even after rehydration, it's not how. I mean, Haney looked phenomenal for that Prograis fight. Compare his weigh-in before the Prograis fight and his face, his eye.
Yeah,
he even had a
everything, yeah.
lazy eye in the fight before Prograis. And then in the Prograis, he's smiling. He's on the scale, ripped up. Also, Haney and Crawford, I got question marks on them because they fucking with Victor Conte right now. So they got question marks in my book. That dude is banned from boxing for life. And you in his snack program.
Yeah. Question marks.
Question marks.
I like Subin Matias also.
I thought you were gonna name him before.
Yeah.
I thought that's what I thought you were gonna name him before.
That's a bad boy.
He's actually a friend of mine.
No, I know. I seen your post.
Yeah,
That's
that's
why
a bad
I was gonna.
He's actually a friend. He's up there too.
That's a bad boy.
And
He's calling the big hitters.
Listen, I could be biased and say that I like Anthony Ortiz, who's my fighter. Yeah. You know what I mean? But no, seriously, Subero's up there too, like in that category, 5, 6 of the guys I like.
Yeah, if I had to go like not top 5, like right now, if I just had to go top 5 my favorites right now, I would go Benavidez. I would still go Errol Spence. I would go Matias. I would go Tank Davis. Yeah. I go Jermaine Ortiz and I go Popeye. Richard Popeye Rivera.
You really like Popeye. Do you think he's gonna get his chance soon?
Yeah, I just hope that he doesn't get his chance when he's a shell of himself. That I feel like they're giving him the Demetrius Andre treatment right now. Like Demetrius Andre is so nasty. The world will never know, and he still is. He's a world champ. You can never take a 2-division world champion away from him. He's still 2-division.
Yeah.
But I mean, my dad knew this kid was gonna be a world champion when he was 16 years old. When my dad was fighting at a world championship level, he was bringing in Boo Boo to spar with him.
When you have a fight like that, do you give more credit to a person like Boo Boo, or you give more credit to Benavidez and say there's actually levels to this shit?
A little bit of both. A little bit, there's levels to this shit, but there's also weight classes for a reason. Let's not forget here, Boo Boo's a natural 154. Yes, his body has grown and he's filled out, but right now he could make 160 easy. He went to 168 because nobody else was giving him the time. Charlo's been ducking him. Danny Jacobs been ducking him.
What's a fight you guys want to see? If you guys can make a fight happen right now, what's that fight?
Tank Davis and Devin Haney. I would love that fight right now. I go Tank Davis and Devin Haney at 1. Even though these guys are not the same versions of themselves, I would still love to see Joshua and Wilder.
Yeah,
Canelo
that has to
Benavidez,
happen.
that's another one.
That has to happen.
Before my boy Jermaine got the TO fight, I actually would have liked to see Matias and Teofimo.
That's a good one too.
I would have loved to see that fight.
I just feel like Theo has his off nights more than other people, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about what Theo are we gonna get that night.
I think what it is I think he prepares for a game plan, and if you switch it up, he doesn't have a plan B.
I think
for example, I think he went in there, right? Cambosos, right? He went in there doing Tio shit.
Yeah.
He was doing, but then he didn't realize, like, Cambosos cracked him and could hit hard, and the game plan wasn't working because the whole time he was planning, I'm a bully the bully. I'm a bully the bully. Yeah, well, that didn't work. Now what? You should have boxed him. And boom. And then I think in another night, when he was fighting a tune-up fight, I think it was his first fight at 140 when he asked if he still got it.
Yeah, that was
another one. He didn't have a backup plan. He didn't have a plan B. But notice he looks good against, like, the Lomas and I thought he was going to lose the Josh Taylor fight. And
he dominated.
He dominated.
Yeah, he dominated.
So I think when the fight is big, he prepares right. I think it's when... That's the thing is people don't understand. Just because something may seem as a tune-up or you don't know who that person is, that man still bleed the same blood and breathe the same air as you. He has a chance to beat you.
His best fights have been on Super Bowl weekend. Look at all the fights. Lopez fights every year on Super Bowl weekend.
And those have been his best. That's the Jermaine fight.
Exactly. So we're hoping that, this is the one where he lays the egg. because if you look up all his best fights, when the bright lights of the Super Bowl are that weekend, those have been.
How
his
hard is that
best.
for you guys? Because I know Jermaine just because he's from Worcester, but you guys are actually closer to him than most people are.
I feel
So how does that?
those
How does that work for you guys?
those same butterflies I used to get when my dad was fighting, I get them for Jermaine too.
Yeah, that must be tough.
I get emotionally invested.
You have to.
I get all. I mean, I'm going.
I
I
know.
bought my plane ticket and my hotel before I even bought the ticket to the fight. And then when pre-sale dropped, I jumped right on it.
Yeah, because like I said, it's like, it's a one thing to, know Jermaine, he's from Worcester, root for him. But then you guys are probably going to see him after, sometime after the fight.
Yeah.
Going to have that one-on-one conversation with him. And, like, say he wins, it's a great conversation. Say he loses, how does that go?
It doesn't, for me, like, this new age is all caught up on losses. But I come from, like, the old school boxing era, like, with my uncle, my dad. I watched their guys. And, like, losses didn't, like, a man fought another man, an elite man at that. He didn't lose to a tune-up.
Yeah.
That's a different story. That's a completely different conversation. When you lose and you lose to another great fighter, we're talking a 2-division champion and undisputed. So he's not. If that is the outcome, he was chasing greatness.
Yeah, I mean,
It wasn't your night.
He's fought great fighters. So.
The other guy doesn't mean that just because he lost to this guy doesn't mean he can't beat this guy. That's not how boxing works. Styles make fights.
Yeah.
So, let's say he beats Tio, or let's just say, I'll give you an example, the Loma fight. Okay, Tiafimo beat Loma, and Jermaine lost to Loma. That doesn't mean that he can't beat Tio just because he lost to Loma. That's not how it works. Styles make fights.
Yeah. You said you've been to Mayweather fights. So that means you've been to many events, I'm guessing?
Oh, yeah.
Which one's that favorite, though? That favorite event where you're like, yo, this night was a night to remember.
Washington, D.C. for Tank Davis.
Against
Garcia.
Garcia.
It was the whole place. He sells out an arena.
Yeah.
The place is packed. You have celebrities. You see all those celebrities there, and the press conference was lit, and so.
Is that the one when you asked him a question?
Yes.
That was the one, right?
Yeah, he asked me if I worked for Oscar.
Yeah, that's what he. We gotta get that clip.
What about when you used to bring artists? Like before club promoting and things were popping out here, he was really the one that like.
Where to?
Started
Where?
that. Clubs used to bid for him to like.
all the clubs.
They used to bid for him to like do
was a
events
promoter.
that weekend.
That's
Like,
fire.
no, this weekend come to our club. No, this weekend come to our club. And he used to. I mean, he brought Faruko before he became
For
popular.
Peppa.
Well,
Before
before.
paper. Oh, be way before all that. Absolutely.
Damn.
Yeah.
So what? You gonna ask him something? It seemed like.
So yeah, I was gonna say, how was it doing those events? Seeing like it's almost like equivalent of like a pro debut fighter starting with you, and then you see him at a world championship level. Like, how was it bringing these people before anyone knew who they were, and then seeing where they're at now?
It's awesome because, when you see what Faruko's doing nowadays, and you tell somebody, oh, I know him, they're like, get the fuck out of here. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I'm like, Pam, the look on their faces is priceless.
You're working with the glasses, your brand.
Lennox.
What's
Zion
the
Lennox.
brand? I don't want to just say glasses. I want to say
Durini, chosen one.
the chosen one.
Yeah, because he has Durini. Actually,
Is that a pair? Or no?
No. Actually, I'm talking to him because we have an artist that I'm hoping he does a featuring with. So that might come soon.
Okay.
That might come soon.
But
It goes to
then-
show you the eye for talent
literally.
on both sides.
Yeah, no, but even like then, you said knowing people like that. He was pretty big in the Spanish community.
Zion Lennox.
Nah, no, I know that's what I'm saying, but like in the Spanish, like the Puerto Rican community.
But the thing is, when I go to Puerto Rico, I'll go pick up Tito Trinidad and Lennox.
Facts, I seen you with
and my compay, and we'll all go and have lunch and chill and talk about things that are going on over here,
family-
things that are going on over there.
My family fights his roosters for him.
in Puerto Rico.
You did?
Tino Trinidad, yeah.
That's fire. Do you bet on those?
Matter of fact,
Absolutely. I did it. We celebrated
How did-
Gabriel Matias' birthday at one of those rooster fights. We were all betting that day.
How do you bet on a rooster? How do you pick a rooster?
Well, it's like a boxer. Like, whose rooster is it? So, you know.
So you gotta do your research.
Well, no, let's say he has a rooster.
Yeah.
I'm going to bet on his rooster, not yours.
Why is that? That's what I'm saying. Like, why? Why is that?
Because it's our team.
Oh, so you're going.
It's like a boxer.
Okay.
I'm going to go for Jermaine because so over there, when I go over there, Tito Trinidad brings a rooster or Sabrina Matias or we seen in Yandel or my cousins. Those are the guys roosters I'm going to bet for. I'm going to bet on. I'm not going to bet against them.
Okay. So how about if it was like, say,
Anybody? Oh, well, yeah, like if it's not related to.
Yeah, because I never been in the.
So you're talking about two
roosters.
I have eyes for seeing when a rooster is well trained.
That's crazy. That's
I
crazy.
have an eye for seeing when a rooster is well trained. Yeah.
So if there was like rooster betting, you would do it like FanDuel.
Absolutely.
Yo, the other day, I caught my sports betting getting so bad, bro.
Yeah, sports betting is crazy.
I put 2 tickets with golf on.
You didn't even know who you betting on.
I'd never watched golf a day in my life.
Wow, you gotta chill out with that.
Yo, I never watched golf a day in my life.
Oh, I got a question for you. You ready for this one? Would you rather get beat up by a 16-year-old or a 65-year-old?
Ooh, that's a good question.
What? Say that again. What?
Would you rather get beat up by a 16-year-old or get beat up by a 65-year-old?
By a 65-year-old.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 65-year-old.
Why is that? And then I'm gonna follow that. What
So,
you just answered. I was gonna
so-
say, would you rather see your uncle get beat up by a 16-year-old or a 65-year-old?
Well, no, for me, I would say, even me personally, I'd rather get beat up by one because I could play it off like, man, I ain't trying to hit no old ass man, you know. I could play it off like that. But also, you never heard of old man strength? For whatever reason, you get like stronger when you're old. Like,
I could show you a video of a 76-year-old man beat up a 20-something year in the gym.
Yeah, in the boxing gym.
Put on the gloves on
yeah.
and beat
he's
the
a
hell
bink,
out of
bink,
him.
bink, bink.
Yeah, I believe
The
that.
hell out of him.
Yeah.
That's tough.
16-year-old, they ain't no come. That's a little boy. He ain't even got his grown man strength yet. They ain't no coming back from that.
How do you take you take that cool? Like, you know, if like it was you at the gym and a 70-year-old put the gloves on and beat you.
I mean, it is what it is.
Chin up.
You win some, you lose some.
Okay.
That's the thing about boxing is you're never gonna, and I think that's why it's like, I can never envision like these people risking their lives with guns and knives and stuff like that because it's like, bro, over pride, like you got beat up, you end up shooting or stabbing the dude. Like you win some, you lose some, and I'd say that because in boxing, bro, Carlos had us sparring like every fucking day. Do you think that every day was my day? No, every day was not my day. So you get accustomed to, as much as you give your licks, you get accustomed to also taking the licks.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is. You're
That's
not
in life.
That's in life.
that's in
but
life.
for the people that just risk it all and just, I'm going to shoot this person and now I'm going to jail for life, that just take your ass whooping like a man. Call it a day.
You gave the youngster. Oh,
You just reminded me of something when you were talking about age, because I remember my roommate, Cadillac Frank, was 83 years old and nobody wanted to mess with that. And not only because he was a mobster and one of the biggest mobsters in New England, but at 83, he had old man strength. So I just remembered that.
83.
83, Cadillac Frank.
What prison was he your
In
roommate?
Walpole. I was in Walpole.
In Walpole?
Cadillac Frank. I was actually the only Puerto Rican accepted by the Italian mafia
That's fine.
because of him. Because of Cadillac
He was your
Frank.
roommate?
Yeah.
Damn.
He has his
Listen,
he has his DOC
when the Patriots came
side.
out, nobody could come to my room and bother us while we were watching the Patriots. That old man would flip.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. Cadillac Frank, he died last year, man. But
What, that was
had a
last
lot
year?
of- he died last year in jail. No, it
No, no.
wasn't last year, but he died. Actually, a couple years ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I
2
thought it was a
years
couple.
ago.
Yeah.
2 years
Okay.
ago. 2 years ago.
I was like, I know we were doing some research one day.
2 years ago. Yeah.
You gave early. You gave a you dropped a gem to the youngsters. So I'm gonna ask you if you could give me an advice about life, or what would that be?
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Why do you say that?
What do you get out of that? If I tell you that, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Stick to what's working.
Exactly. Never let anybody else tell
Even
you.
even if it seems small.
Yeah, no.
Never let
Yeah.
anybody else tell you.
Like a lot of people could have said, "Oh, why don't you get a bigger store? Why don't you expand? Why? What for? I'm getting 6 figures a year right here for a thrift store, right here in the corner of the hood on Piedmont Street."
So never take advice from someone that's never been there.
Dope. What's an advice your uncle gave you that still to this day sticks with you?
Well, I'll go with the first one that comes to mind. There was a lot of them. He more so gave me advice through his actions. Like, look what I did. Look how I'm doing it now. Don't do this. Don't do that. It was really more like that. There wasn't really that one thing. But I remember when I was I was probably like 15. We actually had just left the club. And I was telling him I was having these girl issues. I'm like, yo, like, this girl said, like, we were just going to, like, mess around. But now she wants to be, like, my girlfriend. And, like, then this girl says the same thing. I was like, yeah, but, like, we had an agreement. We're supposed to be friends. And then he said to me, he goes, listen. He goes, you're a Rivera. He goes, you got pinga dulce. He goes, but you can't give that to just everyone. You can't give that to just everyone. He's like, you got to know which girls is boom and get out, and what girls you go the extra mile for. And I was like, oh. Okay.
And how long did it take you to learn that?
Shit.
I know you didn't learn it right away.
Till I actually listened and realized, like, oh, this motherfucker's right. Probably college when I was like, damn. What the fuck? Why does this girl want to kill me for?
OG had a point.
Yeah. When you have girls that you're telling to leave you alone and they don't leave you alone, I think it finally starts to resonate. Like, yeah.
You make them become toxic.
That's bad. Actually, I don't know if you guys seen the Cat Williams interview.
Oh man,
He said he loves toxic women.
that man was just that whole pod was toxic. That man is tripping. I always say there's certain things, there's certain battles that are just
He wasn't lying though.
No, I get it, but there's some battles that are not worth the battle. Like for me,
What would you?
there's two things, right? I want to become wealthy,
Yeah.
and I also want to live, right? So I'm not going after the government. I'm not going after politicians. I'm not going after higher ups, people with higher bankroll than me. I mean, come on, we're talking about in that. Do you remember when Cassie came out talking about P. Diddy? She said she started talking to
The next day.
She started talking to a new guy, and the next day his car got blown up. Like Diddy has the power to just blow up people's cars and shit. Like, and it's even worse when it comes to look at Epstein. Epstein was about to release that list. Boom! Also, he hung himself in prison. No, we know damn well he got paid. Somebody got paid to get his ass. Like it don't work like that. So I just feel like some beliefs, and I feel like some certain things you just got to keep to yourself. I may know how you got your money. I may know what shady shit you're doing, but you know what? It ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm not doing it. He is. I'm not going to.
I think
There's just certain battles that, you don't want to end up.
I think Unc Sharp handled it. He handled that shit well.
Yeah, for
'Cause
sure.
He let him speak whatever he had to say. And
I mean, it's more views for his pod, of course.
19 millions in like.
Just the clips alone made me want to go to look at the whole episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, there's certain. Look at what was it? Lisa Left Eye Lopez, right? One of the last interviews she does, she's talking about Dr. Sebi. She's talking about the CMOS, the fasting, him curing things, and now she's in a car accident dead.
that's tough.
Nipsey Hussle. I'm
Nipsey,
doing a documentary on Dr. Sebi. No, you're not.
Yeah.
Government said no, you're not. So there's just certain things I feel like
I mean, yeah,
you just gotta kind of keep to yourself. Like in your inner circle, you could hip your people and stuff like that, but spreading it out to the world, it's gonna mess your money up, and it's gonna mess Cat Williams could really end up 6 feet under somewhere. Like
I
it
wouldn't
wouldn't
doubt it.
surprise me.
Who are some people you look up to?
I looked up to Nipsey.
Ooh,
I looked up to Nipsey. Nipsey, you know, I like the people that think before they talk, and that have that, you know, smart, have good advice about life, about what's really going on in life. You know, because to me, life is like a game of chess on a daily basis. Life is not easy, but you just gotta, move the right piece on a daily basis so you can succeed.
So I'm gonna switch it up. Pops was 10, which would have made you what, 12 or 13 when Grandma passed away?
13.
13?
Mm-hmm.
So at 13 years old, with your mother passing away, what that for some people that's the end of life right there.
Yeah, that's tough.
How do you there's gonna be a kid that sees this, somebody that sees how do you deal with that? How do you move forward?
It's tell you that's why I started drinking at a young age, why I started smoking weed at a young age, and why I dragged my little brother to follow me around and do the same thing with me at a young age, which I wasn't proud of. It's not easy to lose, your mother at that age, and then having your siblings separated after a while. You know what I mean? It's practically probably why, you decide that you're going to do certain things in life, whether it's good or it's bad. Whether it's good or it's bad is certain situations, certain traumas that happen to you when you're young, have something to do with how you live your life.
Do you think that gave you the fearless attitude? Because at this point, I lost the most important person to me. I got nothing else to lose. So when you had said as soon as I get an idea, I just go for it. Is that because some people will be scared? I can't just give up my job, my full-time job with benefits to go start this business. I can't just do it. What if this doesn't work? And then you just do? So it's almost like having a fear. Do you feel like that's what gave you that fearless attitude?
I'm gonna say something I've never said to anybody actually here. Now that you said, because I'm with family, I'm gonna say it. I talked to my mother. I talked to my deceased mother. And I've had situations with people in life that I have literally had bad intentions for them. And my mother would come up in a dream and tell me, son, I got you. Just do the right thing. So 2 or 3 or maybe more, she has told me in dreams that keep focused in life. I got your back. I'm always watching for you.
This is when I get emotional, man, when we talk about moms, because everybody, I talked about it.
Mom's boy.
Yeah, I'm a mama's boy. Not just everything. I grew up with just my mother. So when you see those dreams, do you picture her as the last time when you seen her, or does it look different?
Has she aged?
Yeah.
No, as she was when
she was still alive.
I was a mama's boy. I literally was a mama's boy.
The firstborn son.
So no, just like what I have in my picture. But that's how I see her. And then I'm not lying to you. I saw in everything that some people have done me wrong, and they have gone through some bad situations. bad situations. And I'm like, wow, that person did me like this, and look at what happened to him.
That's a lot.
But what I was getting at too was, so that fearless attitude of going after certain things, even living the life that you lived, you had to have been
Well,
fearless.
it comes from having to do it at such a young age. When you start doing things at such a young age, it's like, you know, you just do it. It's just in you.
You were still young. You said 13.
I was 13 when
My
my mother
dad
passed
was-
away.
my dad was
you had
10.
younger. Yeah, you had younger siblings too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how did you deal with that? You know, because you had to go through it, but you being the
Well,
oldest.
Even though, listen, I'm gonna say this here, but I was one of the biggest drug dealers in New Bedford. There was a time that Rocky Gonzalez, Bobby Harris, Shaw Fitzgerald, my brother, they would go to visit me to New Bedford, and I would bring out bags of money.
Like big
They know
trash
I can
bags.
say here in camera because they're all gonna say it.
Yeah.
Big trash bags of money. I would give the money to bring back to Worcester. I always wanted my brother to stay focused in school in Worcester. My sister to keep going to school. Her dream was to be an attorney in Worcester. And, you know, the other one to keep doing their, I wanted them to keep doing what they were doing and stay away from, you know, the bullshit in life.
Before you became one of the biggest drug dealers in New Bedford, then it started in PR and ended up in Philly,
Exactly.
and you got shipped out of Philly.
Yeah.
So
I started in
this
Puerto
was a
Rico,
big
then I went to Philadelphia, and yeah. So it's actually
you were sending grandpa money from Philly.
So the thing is that people saw how young I was, you know, hustling, that somebody, this big, talking about this big cartel guy from Puerto Rico said, I'm going to take you to Philly.
And you were how old? 16?
No, I think I was almost 18. Because that's where I met my wife in Philly, Wendy, when I was 18. So I was about 17 to 18. And he told me, you got the gift of gab. You're smart. Listen, you could sell ice to an Eskimo. I'm taking you to Philly. And took me to Philly, and I was just selling bricks over there like it was candy.
Would you say that?
Philadelphia.
Would you say you have that gift? Like it's selling?
Absolutely.
Not just selling, you know,
No,
drugs, selling like everything.
Sell water to a well.
Anything. Absolutely.
Have you carried that?
I'm a businessman. And so it doesn't matter if it was illegal or legal. Anything I did, I was successful at.
When did you start noticing, like, I have this gift, you know?
As very young, as soon as that, my mother passed away, that we were on our own. I had to do something in life to, you know, to support myself, or maybe want more than what my father could do for me.
Do you have any regrets in life?
I don't know if it's a regret, but it's more like I wish my mother didn't travel so much as she did. And that's probably not a regret.
Yeah, that's...
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, you know, I regret a lot of things that happened in the places that she moved us to. Because she liked it. I don't know where she was running from.
She just moved?
We moved. We lived in Florida. We lived in California. We lived in, I don't even remember where. We lived in so many places as kids. She was always traveling.
How did Worcester become home? Or is it home?
Yeah. Worcester is home, absolutely. Worcester is home because when I moved to New Bedford, my kid's mother, actually, the one I met in Philly, her brothers were in New Bedford, and they were doing, the
Yep.
ego drug thing. So from Puerto Rico, me and her moved to New Bedford, and then once I got tired of everything I did over there, I decided that I wanted to be with the family.
Oh, so the family was already here.
Oh yeah, they
Okay,
were. They
okay.
were always in
Okay.
Worcester.
Okay.
They were always in Worcester. I mean, my grandparents were always in Worcester.
Oh, wow.
So we lived in Holyoke and Springfield and stuff as kids, but we would come to Worcester every weekend. So it was actually already home from a very, very young age.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Yeah, from a very young age.
How'd you end up in Arizona?
Because Julian's mother has a family over there. And we decided once I got out and Julian was born, she wanted to take me out of Worcester, and, I had just got out. So we moved to Arizona.
Have you ever had a partner in a relationship, in a relationship point where, they were like a ride or die for real?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had a spouse that we actually called ourselves Bonnie and Clyde. Bonnie and Clyde, because she was always watching my back everywhere I was, at the nightclubs, in the store. I even see her beat up people that stole in the store.
It's crazy. That
Oh,
sound.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
One of your favorite question is the one that got away.
Oh,
you
I
believe-
think everyone's got one of those.
Yeah. So ask it.
So this is funny. This is funny. The one that got away, the one that got away, lives in Puerto Rico. And it's funny that because of social media, at my age now, we reconnected. And when I travel to Puerto Rico, I see her. She was the one that got away, but at this age now, I go to Puerto Rico and I see her.
Is there something there in the future, or?
I don't know, because she's married, but you never know. You can never say you never.
You never, never say never.
Man,
I'm single.
There's two things I know about my uncle, and it's gonna be this way to the day he's under, and that's
So
the man
she
is
got
gonna
away.
hustle and get to it, and the man's a ladies' man.
No, so she got away as like she was the one I wanted to llevármela in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
You just te la llevas,
Yeah,
then
yeah,
you're
yeah,
married.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's like the
Took
old school.
her,
Yeah.
Old school, te la llevaste. She was the one, and it's funny because we talk every day, and
Hey, yo, don't tell her husband this.
Hey, yo.
no, if that dude ever knew, like, he doesn't do social media or anything, but if that dude ever knew that I was in Puerto Rico, man, that dude would go nuts. Because till this day, he still knows that I was the love of her life.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough when you look at it like that.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he would. If he knew I was in Puerto Rico, he wouldn't let her come out.
Do you think the one that poked you up, do you think for her you're the one that got away?
But no, time out.
No.
Wouldn't it be the same? Or am I tripping?
Wait.
Like, do you think for her,
The wifey that stabbed me?
yeah? Do you think in her head, now that she's older, seeing it, she's like, damn, I shouldn't have did that. That's like we could have been still together.
But hold on. But wouldn't it be the same people? You don't think so? Like the ones that got away, wouldn't it be like, am I tripping? Is there like a connection? Like for them, you said the one that got away. She said that was the love of my life. And now you guys like talk again, right?
Yeah, not always.
And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
though?
I get what you said. So what you're saying is, for the way he's thinking about the one that got away, is she's thinking about it the same way?
No, wouldn't it be like, even if she's not, if it's like meant to be like some destiny shit, whatever, or like faith, if you want to call it.
Yeah.
That's the one that got away for both of you guys, in a way.
Nah, because I could be somebody's oh damn, that's the one that got away, but I don't feel that way about that person.
So are you really the one that got away? That's what I'm. If you think about it, are you really the one that got away?
Yeah,
But
for
something
her.
like that, when you come back years after, you're like, and you just like rekindle or something.
Yeah, I
click.
mean, you also fall out of love
Listen,
with people or
over
whatever.
30 years later.
That's when I'm like, I'm like, yo,
Over
there's
30
something
years
there.
Later.
But I seen how like you and the one that stabbed you up interact. It seems like you guys are still like.
No, yeah,
that's why I wonder if like
we have
if there's still a love
you
there
know,
because I don't
she's,
think I could chill with a girl that try to gut me.
She's that's
crazy.
the mother of my daughters. She's a Christian woman.
When did she become Christian?
Years ago.
Before or after the poke?
Oh no, after.
Okay,
Well,
okay.
yeah, because
And it wasn't
It
a
was
poke.
me.
That shit was
after the poke, we had another daughter.
So who's crazier?
Toxic.
Well, who's crazier? Her for stabbing him or for him for giving her another daughter? No, she tried to kill him. It wasn't.
I almost died.
It wasn't a poke. She tried
I
to kill
almost
him.
died. I almost died.
She went
It was
in
close.
and across his stomach.
It was close.
Damn.
It was close. Yeah, I almost died from that.
You still gave her another kid.
I still gave her another kid. Yeah,
Yeah, that's tough.
yeah.
Oh, and
We got together after that.
Was there like? Did she ever say sorry, or it's just something that just?
Oh no, of course. I mean, we were together again, and she was. We went to New Bedford together, and
Did you hide all the kitchen knives?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, listen. Believe me, there was times where if we argued, I kept my distance. I kept my distance.
If you could do one thing all over again, what would it be?
If I could do one thing all over again, what would it be? If I could do one thing all over again, I would actually try to pursue a boxing career with my brother.
Ooh.
To see what would have came out of the Riveras.
I wasn't expecting that one. Cool.
I like that answer.
That would have been fire. That would have been like the smaller Klitschko's.
I'm gonna go into that too. If you had your brother's career, what's something you would have done different?
Oh man, it's
Entertainment.
it's completely opposites. My brother's a humble beast. I think I would have been a loudmouth, Camacho, Vinny Paz type.
He would have been making more money because he would have been talking more outspoken.
Absolutely.
My dad would have been the.
Yeah.
He's the
I
quiet
just,
man.
I just want to thank God for this opportunity.
I would have been.
Is there a time when you could switch it? Like, for example, Jermaine. It seems like he's trying to switch it now.
Yeah.
You know? 'Cause
Well, he's
humble.
switching it because too many of us are telling him, Jermaine, you gotta start calling
Closed
people.
mouths don't get
No,
fed.
I know exactly, but you think it's possible
Yeah.
for him to switch it.
But look at what happened at the Michelle Rivera fight. He went up to Tio, said, "What's up?
Let me get my lick back."
You know what I
said,
mean?
"Let me get my lick back."
And it was recorded. I posted it, and look at now he's fighting too.
Closed mouths don't get fed. So I think you can make that switch because look at both Devin and Shakur. They were not. There's a whole video of Devin being like, he was standing next to Terrence Crawford, and he was standing next to Terrence Crawford. I think Shakur Stevenson might have been in the video, or it was Devin Haney and Tank Davis. It was Tank Davis. He's like, yeah, we're young, gifted, black athletes. He's like, we don't gotta talk down on each other to make this money. I'm doing my thing, he's doing his thing, and we gonna keep it at that. And then it's like, fast forward a couple years later, and he's literally beefing with everybody on Twitter. Him and Tank go at each other. Him and Ryan go at each other. Him and Shakur go at each other. So it goes. You have to take that route because at the end of the day, it's not the old school way where skills paid the bills. Now it's asses and seats. I don't give a fuck how good you could fight. If you can't sell me anything, I'm not giving you a fight. What am I gonna give you a fight for? You're boring.
Talking about cells and UFC. Do you watch UFC or?
Yeah. But look at Rolly Romero.
Oh, Rolly.
Listen, that
He hasn't won nothing. He's accomplished less than
He
Jermaine.
gotta fight Gramps again, no?
Listen.
He's gonna have to fight Gramps again.
Listen, that kid, I spent a night with him at the club in Vegas. And that kid is actually not all there. Like he has some type.
I think I heard people say that before.
No.
It's like a high functioning autism.
Yes, he's a functioning. I don't know if it's
Why do you say that?
ADHD because it's just the way he is. It's not normal.
What did he do that you were like, yeah,
I mean,
something's
he's
up?
just not normal, man. He's just not normal. The way he talks, the way he acts.
It is. He has like a high functioning autism. Like that's what I heard.
No, I heard that too. But talking about UFC, Conor McGregor, you think biggest comeback or?
I mean, he's gonna sell regardless. But
No, he's gonna sell. But I'm talking about like as a sports fan, you think he could get it done?
It's the biggest comeback.
Well, no, it starts here. This is the big. If he makes it, do you think it's possible for him to succeed there?
I mean, anything is possible, but I mean, I'm 50-50 on that one.
Are you a Conor McGregor fan or no?
I mean, I liked him when he's another mouth. He's another seller. He's a
low-key.
businessman.
Yeah.
He's a businessman.
Low key, if my man's Odell Beckham balls out in the playoffs, I'm gonna put him up there with some of the greatest comeback. With the injuries and the adversity that this dude has faced and the different teams, and he was a good contributor this season. And if he balls out in the playoffs, I'm gonna put that up there with one of the
winning
top.
it all?
I think honestly I was calling them frauds all season
They're
long,
looking great.
and at the end of the season they changed my mind where I said, all right, this team, because defense wins championships.
What about the Migos?
Yeah, they're suspect.
They started great.
They're suspect.
What were they, like 10-1?
They're suspect.
All right. I think they just, luckily for them, that like during the middle of the season when I said like the Ravens are frauds or whatever, they had a couple suspect games. I think they're just hitting theirs late, but at least it's before the playoffs. They got They got till right now to figure the shit out.
Who's their defensive coordinator?
The Eagles?
Yeah. Who's their defensive coordinator? You don't know? Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia.
I'm not
and
worried.
Every time and since Matt Patricia came in as the de facto defensive coordinator for the Eagles, they have been trash.
When did he come in?
It was in the middle of the season when the other one got fired.
Which I don't know why they fired the other one.
So he came in as the defect.
I wasn't even aware of that.
Oh yeah, he's the he's the defensive coordinator now, and ever since they've been trash.
Well, that's not good news.
I think Baltimore. I still like Baltimore. I still like the 49ers.
Dolphins?
No.
First
round exit.
Actually, you know who I like? You know who I like? And they're gonna meet. These teams are gonna meet for the AFC Championship. And this time, I think that listen, I'm gonna say it here now. Then you can put it.
I'm gonna clip it. I'm gonna clip it. Yeah.
So,
hey, he made a prediction too. 9th round knockout.
And it happened.
Okay. For what fight?
Tank Davis.
Oh,
he called it. He said, I'm predicting 9th round knockout.
So listen to this. I think that the AFC championship game is going to be Kansas City and the Bills. And this time around, the Bills are going to beat Kansas City. Last time Kansas City
I could see that happening too.
The Bills are going to go on a run now.
I don't think.
And they're going to go to the Super Bowl.
Hell no. My man's Josh Allen threw 2 picks in the first quarter yesterday against a Miami defense that ain't even that good.
I just said it, right?
All right, here's mine. The Bills and the Ravens. The Ravens is gonna win the AFC. That's just what's gonna happen. Or it's gonna be Kansas City and the Ravens.
Oh no, you can't.
I won't even. All right, okay. Ravens are gonna win the AFC Championship. Boom.
Against who? See?
Honestly, Ravens and Kansas City.
Okay, Ravens
are gonna win. Ravens and Kansas City. Ravens are gonna win the championship, the AFC Championship. Okay. NFC Championship is gonna come down to the Eagles and the 49ers.
Before we go that far, you guys give Dolphins no percentage next week?
I think they're frauds.
Do you give them a percentage of winning next week?
Next week is the last week of the season. They're still
the Chiefs, right?
Yeah, for the isn't it They just lost.
No,
They lost against the Bills.
I posted
Yeah, they lost against the
It's
Bills.
for the playoff spot, right?
Yeah, so they
posted
faced
it,
the Chief.
So I'm gonna tell you.
And the Bills plays the
I'm
Steelers.
gonna tell you. I posted it.
Yeah, the Bills are gonna beat the shit.
I know,
out of
but
the
that's
Steelers.
so that's what I'm saying. Dolphins versus the Chief.
All right,
Oh yeah, I mean they're gonna have to. I mean, Pat Mahomes kind of looked like shit this year.
But they were still number one for the.
Yeah, I know.
I
which is
posted
crazy.
it yesterday. Okay, so we have so the wild card, the first round is January 7th, and it is Houston against Cleveland, Pittsburgh against Buffalo. Then you got Buffalo, no, and then this
No,
one.
you got this one right here. This, if they won, that was a tiebreaker. It was or Miami.
Or Miami. Oh, that's right.
So they lost.
Oh,
So
yeah.
They got Hold it. We're about to end it. Hold it. We're about to end it. Just hold it. Just go. We're gonna go with lessons of blessings
Where was AJ gonna go?
to break the seal. We've been here.
We're about done.
Yeah. Just so go with
All right, lessons of blessings.
lessons of blessings. Explain. This is no
What's
way.
blessings or blessings?
All right,
Exactly.
so we end the podcast with
And they're like this.
either a lesson you learned in the last week or a blessing that you received in the last week.
In the last week,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Recently. You could
Or
go
not
recently.
even the last week, recently.
Recently. A lesson or a blessing. You could go first or we could go last. Whatever you want. Your call.
a lesson that I learned. Wow, it's wow. What a question. I was just talking to AJ before in the hallway about a lesson I learned that not all family is loyal.
That's a big one.
Not all family is loyal.
That's a big one. I feel like that's a big one because as a family, you want your family to be,
Not all family is loyal. And blessing, I gotta say, is to me, is waking up, man. Waking up. The gift of opening these two eyes. That's my blessing.
You want to go or you want me?
Yeah, well, I've said the same thing that he said on lessons before, so I'll say, lesson would be learning to pull back some days and do that self-care. You need that. Like, I'm on the go so friggin' much that, I think it was yesterday. I woke up at 11 a.m., up for like 2 hours.
He's been up for 6 hours.
Out for 2 hours. I took another nap.
Oh, no.
Like, I chilled. I went into my sauna blanket, and like I kind of just like I did like me. I didn't like care about the outside world.
Nah, you need
You know
those
what I'm saying? I had that. It was like a mental clarity day, and then I would say blessing would be just to kind of like, you said like not all family is family. The blessings are the people you do have in your life, the people who genuinely not want to see you win for them, but they want to see you win for you. Like the people who are genuinely happy for your blessing. Having those kind of people, it's rare that you have them. If you got one of them in your circle, two of them, three of them, like those are the people you're blessed to have. So then those are the people that nowadays that I find myself being more appreciative and wanting to surround myself with.
I like that one. Blessing for me is gonna be seeing the good in the ugly, And I'm gonna just take that. Even with a snowstorm yesterday, it sucked. Shoveling sucks, but I got to sit there for a couple and see my daughter playing the snow, building a snowman. And I was like, yeah, this sucks for me, but this is beautiful, So seeing the ugly, you seeing the beautiful in the ugly. That's big. And I'm for lesson. I'm gonna go. I feel like if God has given you a vision, and with that, I'm talking about this podcast. I feel like I'm meant to podcast. It's in me, and He's given me the reason and the vision for a reason. So I feel like let's keep going until something comes up, man. And I just love meeting and talking to people. Like I I seen you before, but we never had a talk.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, and that's something I love, man. I love it. It's beautiful. So with that, thank you for coming, joining us for an episode.
Appreciate you,
yeah. Of course, my co-host, AJ. Couldn't ask for a better co-host. And yeah, can't wait to see where this takes us, brother. And like that.
Nice.
Yeah, I bet on myself. Okay, dream so